Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Shout out to all the crack whores and all the dinosaurs. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Internet Uncapped.
What?
We have another. What? What's wrong, Evan?
What was that? I've never heard you say that shit before.
There we go. There we go. I'll say it again, Evan, just so you don't miss out.
Dinosaurs and crack
Whoa,
whores.
whoa, whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa, Evan. Ladies first. Ladies first. Shout out to all the crack whores and the dinosaurs. How are we doing today,
Fair enough.
everyone? Welcome to Internet Uncapped. I am joined, as always, with Bombastic Relish, also known as
Heck.
Evan. And we did a video recently covering Chrissie Mayr, everyone's favorite new lol count at the moment. She
True.
had Brittany Venti on, and she just could not answer a simple, and I do mean a simple question. And Cherry, who said nothing at all so far, was able to at least be in the positive because she's not saying a fucking word. And then we got Kimberly, who, quite frankly, in the beginning, it's that meme. It's that meme where they had us in the first half, but now she's picking it up, getting some steam, and telling Chrissie Mayr she's an idiot. But without further ado, this is part 2 now. We're gonna go ahead and jump right back into it. And we'll at the end we'll talk about some other stuff that has been going on with Chrissie Mayr as well. So without further ado, let me get this up here. And let's just hit play.
And unfortunately, Kino Casino can't be here to address it because Jeremy removed them, and as well as flagging other people and your co-host. He came for your co-host as well from FNT.
Yeah, I hope everybody who had their channels taken down by him gets them back. That's really messed up, and that's not cool.
And this is the problem right here. Okay, but Chrissie, this is the problem. You have not disavowed what Jer Bear has done. That's one. And two, you had Melanie Mack on, and you choose to neglect that you knew anything that was going on with the situation.
Right.
So this is your fault. This is absolutely 110% your fault. Stop deflecting the blame and just own it. You were a donkey-brained idiot. You didn't take accountability for nothing, and now you're just trying to still shift blame. Guess what? Get Ben.
Well, it seems
I think
when you have Melanie on and she's sweeping for it by not acknowledging it repeatedly.
Exactly.
And you say, well, hey, I'm not here to talk about that with Melanie. Well, look how it turned out. And it's a conflict of interest because you're having someone that's helping getting people that me, your co-host, other people. She's co-signing them getting the platform. And for all we know, this stream could go down too because of it.
Well,
so
she was pretending also that there's no every mention of him possibly being involved in the flagging was like a conspiracy theory,
Agreed.
likened to the SJW spread.
And you know what, Chrissie?
Eat
it. Lies to get people deplatformed. And that was just not the case. He was openly bragging about how people were gonna feel his wrath, and that's especially if you don't understand that context fully, or if you don't see that happening in real time.
Well, here's the thing. She's Chrissie's point of contention with that is that, well, she didn't know that Melanie was connected with that. But my point of contention,
which I don't understand how you could not to a certain extent. Okay, Jer is here. Melanie Mack is here. Okay, they're separate individuals. I get that, but like Brittany Venti has said before on this this cast right here, the Simp cast, this very specific episode, Melanie Mack was engaging with the tweet of Jer going ahead and putting cards, with his meal that he had on his birthday. So she knows what that is. I'm not gonna let her feign ignorance and say oh, I didn't know. Now, it would have been different if it was something very niche about the Kino Casino. Then I would say, okay, maybe she didn't get that reference. But casino cards, or playing cards rather, really? You don't know then? That's a lie. That's a blatant lie.
With that is that And it's not about like paying for the sins of friends. Melanie herself did something wrong as a content creator that is supposed to be pro free speech. And by platforming her
Right.
and her sweeping under the rug and it not being pressed, because you didn't press her on it despite Nina giving you information on him deplatforming. So that's what needs to be acknowledged. And it just feels like
Well, that
it
was
keeps
the
turning
problem with the
into
chat
like
too.
my toddler, which of course Chrissy is a mom and she should prioritize that. But it comes to a point where it's like, okay, well, you have to pick a lane. If you can do the job, then do the job when you need to press someone about deplatforming, because otherwise it turns into this. And I think
My
that needs to be
job that
acknowledged instead
night.
of
Okay, I hear what you're saying. That my job that night, Brittany, was to talk to Melanie about my conversion and her wedding and Catholic stuff. My job that
No,
night was
no,
not to
no, no, no. Pause. We've said this before, and we will say it again. Your religion has nothing to do with this situation. And
Yeah.
the fact that she has previously she did it like maybe once or twice. Now the fact she's done it a third time, you're just repeating yourself and you're just proving yourself to be wrong. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
So stop it. Just stop.
Yeah. And one thing, turn it down like 1 decibel if you can. You pitched a little bit there, so just 1 decibel if you can. But yeah, and to play off of your point there, yeah, it's just like I don't know. Yeah, you said that was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but to play off your point there, yeah, Chrissie Mayr here, she keeps trying to go back to this point that like, no, I was supposed to do this. Okay, then why do you collect the super chats then? And if someone
Right.
says anything in the super chats, why are you not engaging with it? That makes no sense. So if someone goes ahead and says, Chrissy Mayr, I hope you have a wonderful day today. I hope the child is well. God bless. You can't engage with it then with your logic. You can't engage because it has nothing to do with your conversion and with all this other stuff that you're claiming to be the issue. If that is the case, Chrissy, then you can't have any type of discussion, you moron. But that's just a deflection. Yeah, okay. If okay, we have a program and what we do is we cover certain topics. But there's been some times where we've gone ahead and we've said, "Oh wait, let me show you this, let me show you that." And we've gone on stream or on air and went did some stuff. We had Cassandra on for a live reaction of a Dark Side Phil documentary. And then what happened? Well, before we went on, you wanted to talk about AI. I think it was Sora that got taken down or whatever, and we did that. So you go based off of the flow and based off of what you want to talk about, etc. So this whole thing is just a bunch of bull. Dare I say, a bunch of bull? So yeah, yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's a bunch of BS. She's trying to just get out of this scratch free or scot free, whatever. But it's not going to happen if you don't take any type of accountability or throw the quartering and Melanie Mack under the bus, which she doesn't. Because Melanie Mack like everyone knows Jeremy's grift with having these women on. He pays them an exorbitant amount of money just to sit there and to essentially, for lack of a better term, take it. And I don't mean it like that, but to go ahead and deal with his weird sexual innuendos and to kind of just be there for eye candy for the viewership because he's such an ugly piece of shit. So that's what she wants. She wants Hannah Claire's spot. She wants Melanie Mack's spot. Her and Mel have definitely talked about the money behind the scenes. She's probably said, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Whatever." But just don't try to make it seem like something else than it is. You're gonna do it. Yeah. So this whole thing is just a bunch of BS.
to press her on the quartering because I did not link her with the quarterings drama. If that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
she also like if she didn't say anything about like
your
how she
your
thought this was
job
going to
is
go,
to
I think that's
research though,
disingenuous.
especially about the
I think I just
platforming.
explained how I didn't have time to research
Well,
and I have a lot going on.
Mel-
Oh, no, deflection. I'm playing that back. Let's go.
The quarterings drama. If that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
she also like if she didn't say anything about like
your
how she
your
thought this was
job
going to
is
go,
to
I think that's
research though,
disingenuous.
especially about the
I think I just
platforming.
explained how I didn't have time to research
Well,
and I have a lot going on.
Melanie
I'm very
is
overwhelmed.
disingenuous.
Melanie should have said
What? Like we have done a variety of different topics, and there's been times where I've had timestamps, and we use we the platform we use to do our recording. We have a private chat here, and then like Evan will see it, and I will see it, and I'll write like 32:15, and that's 32 minutes 15 seconds.
Yeah.
17:38. And I put down the timestamps because there's clips that I want to see, and then I go over to the video, I get the timestamp, bam, I get it there, get it there, get it there, get it there, and I get things rolling. Okay,
Hmm.
you have to do your research, especially with everything that's going on. Which again, this goes back to the Nina Infinity point. Before you had Melanie Mack on, she told you about those things. And if you were skeptical at any point, it is your job, not anyone else's, to do the research. And you refuse because you say, I have all this personal stuff going on. I have all this stuff going on. Then you don't do the video with Melanie Mack and you do something else. It is your job as the content creator to not put out slop. There's a
Right.
GTA guy.
Yeah.
His name is Mr. Boss for the win. And all he does is he does these bullshit videos every single time.
Yeah.
And I hate the guy. Okay, hate's a strong word, but I have a lot of disdain for the content that he makes, where it's just him playing GTA and then asking these stupid fucking questions. And he does it with Red Dead Redemption also. What happens if you play Red Dead Redemption and you try to leave the gang in the beginning of the game? Oh, you fail! Whoa! Who would have fucking thought that they want you to play the game? You moron. But that happens all the time with a lot of these slop content creators. Your Dark Side Phils, your Mr. Boss for the win, your damn, I forgot what the other dude's name. There was another guy who was another GTA content creator where he was claiming he got GTA 6 early and it came in a package. Clearly fake. Your Chrissie Mayr, your Jer Bear, all these dipshit idiots who just make bullshit content all the time and just claim that what they're doing is holier than thou. Get fucked.
Even people like Logan Paul or all these other famous Twitch streamers, and they say, "Oh, I need to get on a podcast. You got to do the podcast," and they just shoot the shit and talk about random asinine bullshit that what are they talking about? What does it even mean? And it is literally inaudible. I would rather shoot myself in the face than listen to any of that. It's the same concept. You said it, like it's slop. It's slop content. It is a lack of preparation. It is a lack of awareness of really what's going on, and frankly, if you want to call it, a lack of professionalism.
Agreed.
But
Melanie can be
something-
disingenuous. We agree she didn't handle it right, but the responsibility isn't all on only Melanie. This is Chrissy's show, and she had Melanie on. People are super chatting, and then there comes the thing
Yeah.
about me joining to give some pushback. Chrissy was open to it seemingly, and then she said, "Well, hey, like Brittany sent me a reply too late, but I don't." And she said in the intro here too that by that time, she wants to wrap it up. But I think 40 minutes is more than enough time for if she wanted to have me on.
You're looking at that as
So
a Monday morning quarterback. You can now look at the end of the stream and go, "Wow, I messaged her," and then the show went on for 40 minutes. But I didn't know
Okay.
how long the show was going to go on for. I was trying to wrap it up, and then I was like, "Holy crap!"
well,
look
you're
at
the
all this
host.
stuff. And then it took that much longer to finish.
You're the
So,
host, though.
of course, I'm just trying to explain to you, like in your mind, you thought there was enough time to come on. In my mind, it was late. I was trying to wrap it up. I was not trying to ambush. I was not trying to gotcha. And hold on, let me not.
But you're claiming that you want to put on a good show, you want to put on a good program. That would have been some great content. That would have got you click. That would have brought you in more money, which clearly that's what you're after. And Chrissy again is just being super disingenuous. She didn't want to do that to Mel because she's trying to get on the in with her and Jeremy Hambley, which I don't understand. What I will never understand these middle-aged women that defend a sex pest like
Correct. Yes.
Hambley, who is a lying, grifting piece of shit, allegedly. And there's all these things of him going ahead. How you cannot defend him walking in the fair and making sexual innuendos like, oh, she has kids, she's DTF, she's down to fuck. What the fuck does that mean? And to the point that the Renaissance Fair banned him from all locations.
Yeah.
If the Renaissance Fair has enough a wherewithal to say we don't want this guy associated with us, then how the fuck are you, Chrissy, a Catholic woman, a God-fearing woman, gonna go ahead and preach about your religious beliefs when you have mattress actresses on your program and you have Jeremy and you're trying to team up with Jeremy Hambley? You're an idiot.
Enough time to come on. In my mind, it was late. I was trying to wrap it up. I was not trying to ambush. I was not trying to gotcha. And hold on, let me not ignore the chat because I did that last time. Kentucky Tim, thank you for the super chat. Brittany needs to mind her own business.
By the way, I want to point this out before because I saw this before we did this video.
Mm-hmm.
Chrissy is only going to mention the chats that attack Brittany. She only brings those ones up. And what is also very interesting is I'm going to go here right now. Is you go ahead and you check. You go down to the comments. Usually you could go ahead. You can check out the comments here or the comments from the live stream. But she has taken it so you can't see those.
Well, I also want to say this. I actually think it's incredibly bad form to like selectively find, like super chats or comments that literally lambast your own guest. I mean, I just feel like that's really irresponsible of Chrissy to even be doing that.
Well, she's doing it because she's trying to fight for the Jer Bear. She's trying to fight for Melanie.
That's what but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. It's the fact that she is fighting for him, and it's like, no, look, listen. When you have a guest on, it's okay to have disagreement. It's okay to, hash out a conversation. But there's something, my fellow viewers, called the rules of engagement. Now, there are multiple definitions for what the rules of engagement are. It can be in the military, it can be in business, it can be in the workplace, it can be in whatever. But generally speaking, when you have a conversation with someone that you may have differing opinions on, the rules of engagement is the in between. It is the middle point of understanding how to talk to each other. And the fact remains, Mitchell, that people like Chrissy, Jer, Melanie Mack, whoever, they don't give a flying fuck about the rules of engagement. All they care about is felting other people who dare challenge them. So This is a prime example of her not understanding the rules of engagement, especially when having a guest like Brittany on her show. And I call fucking horseshit on it.
Yep. Agreed.
Business. Mel Biz is her own. Chrissy's is her own troublemaking middle schooler mentality by both Kim and Britt. Friends stand behind each other without pulling knives. Shame on both of you. Thank you, Tim.
Friends make sure that they keep each other not doing immoral things, and
friends hold each other accountable. So like,
and that's what Melanie hasn't done, for example, and that's why people are mad.
I appreciate, and I've sent, I talked with Brittany.
Okay, if you appreciate it, then just fucking apologize and just admit what you did was wrong, you dumbass.
Exactly.
But she won't. She won't.
Before the stream, I sent Nina a long message. I sent Camelot a message saying like, hey, I'm, thank you for essentially being a good friend and calling me out, because if they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had the perspective and clarity coming into the stream that I have. I really do appreciate that, because, and a true friend does call you out and say, hey, like, I know you're going through a lot of shit, but this is what people are saying and thinking. So I do appreciate that. Hydra Quill.
And you're free to do whatever you want with the super chat. They're saying to each their own. You're free to do it, of course. But like, here's the thing. People can also choose to give money or not if they see someone that's for free speech fighting for it, and then they are platforming someone who is supporting that and then not giving pushback when they know that the quartering, her boss, is going after me and your co-host. And it just feels, it feels dishonest. That's why people have this criticism. It's not about like, oh, the sins of somebody else or having Melanie on. It's the fact that there is no pushback, and the Kino Casino can't even fight back their own battle.
And I understand why people wanted to.
Okay, if you understand, then why won't you, someone who has a platform, someone that is close to Jer, someone that's close to Mel, why wouldn't you fight to try to possibly get, Worski's banned, so you can't bring him onto the platform necessarily? So Triple P, why not have Triple P and Jer come together and talk about everything? Because and the reason is it's because Chrissie Mayer's scared and she wants to just grift off this. That's all she is. She's a dirty, stinking grifter.
Pushback. First time super chatting anyone, let alone anyone on FNT. Out of all the gay drama on FNT, this is by far the gayest. Chrissy didn't do anything wrong. It's not your responsibility to keep up with everyone's brain dead drama. This isn't a cult. First of all, yes, it is my responsibility to keep up with everyone's brain dead drama. Thank you, though.
See, and listen to that backhanded.
Total dent. That was a dent. That was a dent.
But did you hear her? Because Brittany told her earlier, yeah, you're supposed to do that. When you have someone on, you have to keep track. And then she just said very, 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 very facetiously, yeah, no, it is my responsibility to keep up with everyone. That's her taking a shot at Brittany. Go fuck yourself.
Sato.
Well, this isn't brain dead drama. This is about platform. I don't like that dismissal. This is about deplatforming. Like, this isn't just brain dead drama. Of course, I know the court ring's brain dead, but
yeah, well, say you're literally, because it wasn't even just that they got flagged. It was his entire thing about, like, I'm gonna take everything that you have. Like, excuse me, who the fuck are you?
Kimberly, folks. Woo! Let's go, Kim.
That is a
I want to hear
horrible.
Chrissy.
Threat. Zato.
So
Casino,
is this brain dead drama?
Andy Worski and his father, retard friend, shitting on people. That's the hill. Brittany, thank you, Zato. And again, I'm not gonna like
quite the super chats choose to read, but I need to
Pause.
Let's
100% check the super chats before you read them. I mean,
well, no. But all of them are antagonistic towards the Kino Casino and Brittany Venti. And when we do streams, we have a system here where all the chats come out and we can have them pop up on the screen. We don't get super chats, we're not on that level. But it's any chat, and we had one, a while ago. We had AAA, and we've had other people like Lord Diaz show up, etc. And we pop their messages up on the screen because again, we don't get super chats, whatever.
Right.
So she is picking all these ones that are for her side and not for the casino. And she's deliberately doing it. And on top of her deliberately doing that, she's also ignoring all the other tipped ones. I can understand if she was getting a lot of tips. The tip ones take priority. I'm sorry. That's just the way that the world works. Unless you see someone in the chat who is a good friend or something of the sort, I would cater to the viewership that are actually supporting the program. I go to Lord Diaz's stream where he does Dance Dance Revolution, and anytime he's on there, I tip money, and I give him gifted subscriptions to the program, and I always do 5 at a time whenever I do gift them. And when I do that, he says, "Okay, you get 5 free requests." I always say, "Spread the wealth," and I pick random people in the chat. And I'm like, I'll let them pick a song. I like to be courteous to the chat like that. With that being said, though, I've been on shout out to them on their show. I've sent a message before, and I know that they're not going to get to it immediately, but at some point they will. Duty streams, I've sent money to him as well, and I know that he'll get to it once he gets to it. Sometimes he might be stuck in the middle of a sentence, but for her to go ahead and ignore these super chats because she wants to go ahead and only pick the ones that are against the Kino Casino, get fucked. And I hope those people charge back because it is so terrible to just ignore them because they don't support the cause that you believe in, because you want to essentially suck off Jer and what he believes in, you bitch.
Well, not only that, but also they should totally unsubscribe. They should cancel their membership if they're already on a membership. I mean, it is like you said, it's insulting the fact.
Yeah, you should. Fight with your wallet. Ultimately,
fight with your wallet.
Yeah, be smart.
Even the most degenerate online show on YouTube, Lolcow Live, they have TTS, and every single one is red. And usually when they're like interrupting TTS, like, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that, because they actually do respect their fans. Now they're going through a lot right now, and we're not going to get into that. But it's to say that there's a huge difference between a degenerate show called Lolcow Live and what Chrissy is doing. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's Lolcow Live, and she was being a Lolcow Live.
Exactly.
I need to know, is this considered brain dead drama, or is it, hey, like there's a legitimate thing about platforming and not just deplatforming whoever criticizes?
Platforming is not okay. People are allowed to criticize. It's I've never said that.
Then disavow it, Chrissy. Disavow it. All you have to say is, I do not support Jer and Mel in their mission to deplatform the Kino Casino and anyone else that speaks up against them.
Mhm.
Speak up against it, you dumbass.
That deplatforming is good, or that we should be continuing.
But it
that.
feels dismissive when you're reading the super
Chrissy's
chat
like,
and
"The
you're
fuck
like, yeah,
she
what
say?"
is my
I'm
job?
trying to get
Yeah, what did she say?
What did she say?
Bring
It
the
is more pretty.
drama. You
Like I
know?
said, I only was. I'm not trying to make this the whole show, and I do want to get through these, and I do feel like I went over a lot of this. Chad
Didn't that
Wellington.
guy also refer to it that way? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's what he wrote. Chad Wellington. Melanie is the epitome of a snake.
Well, she agreed
Stay
with it. That's why I'm asking.
Stay
Okay.
away from
Yeah, I
her
was just trying to
women.
ask.
She will drag you down. If you really have become a Christian, let Melanie be the example of what a false Christian looks like. Thank you.
So I have a question. What would you have done differently? Genuine question. I think people want to know.
If I knew everything today, that
You did know everything today. Nina Infinity told you. She told you. And not just that, you asked the question on her podcast. We played the clip where you
Yes.
asked about what was going on. So
Right.
you had some insight already. You are the idiot that went ahead and said, well, I have Nina telling me this and I have Melanie telling me this. So it just cancels each other out. What the fuck are you talking about? That was the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard. Mel's just saying,
That was crazy.
trust me, on God, for real, that's not true, fam. And then you have Nina saying, here's some timestamps, here's some clips, here are some actual testimonies. Like, what the fuck do you want? A DNA sample? You moron.
Do you want
if I
a
could go back
fingerprint?
in time.
Yeah, you want fingerprints? You want the
Fingerprints?
email from the, as Jer said, non-Pajit YouTube
Do
rep?
you want a freaking retinal scan? Like, what are we doing?
You're saying?
Yeah, how would you have handled it? Because you said you don't regret having Melanie
That's a
on.
fair
So
question.
what would you
Yeah,
have
that's a
done?
fair question. I would have said, gosh, I would say, do you feel like the fact that you are an employee of Jeremy's keeps you from being, or I don't know, do you think it's a conflict of interests? Because knowing that all this drama is going on and he's your boss, do you feel like that keeps you from honestly criticizing or commenting on what's going on? I think I would point to the fact that, like, hey, like, there is money involved here. You're on the payroll. And we see you also not being, calling this out, or like, yeah, if I had these tweets of like, here you are supporting it, here you are laughing this off, here you are, do you feel like this reaction has anything to do with the fact that you work for him?
It's not about the fact that she works for him. She keeps purposely misunderstanding the point. No, it's not. Oh my God.
But
It's
also,
not-
she's literally admitting, like, in a sort of indirect way, that's literally what she did throughout this entire video.
Yeah.
They're like, she's like, kind of like, I mean, she's not that she was laughing it off necessarily, but it's the fact that she's being, oh, I'm so neutral, and oh, I had all these things go on in my life, and whatever, and it's like again, like, pick a stance. This isn't like a political show. This isn't a political topic. This is about
morality.
And the internet and morality, yes, but the internet, but mostly about the internet.
Yeah, ethics.
And if you can't take a stance on something that affects a lot of people on YouTube, then what the fuck are you doing hosting a show like this? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. The only person right now on this panel with all four of them that's been neutral is fucking Cherry.
Correct?
Because she hasn't said a fucking thing.
True.
Like, you would have said this publicly with her, or like in
You're
private?
asking how I would do the interview differently.
So
I'm
it would've
asking
been
how you
on
would
the
have
interview.
did it in general differently.
Yeah, I would have mentioned, like, yeah, you're an employee, and do you think that affects your ability to comment on this?
Yeah.
Well, comment on what? Be specific, Chrissy. You're trying to be, again, she's not trying to go into detail because she's not trying to rat herself out. It's very obvious that what she's done, again, she's sweeping. She is sweeping for Jer. She is sweeping for Mel.
Yeah.
So obvious.
Yeah.
I just my point of contention here is just I see this is on Twitter for 3 weeks, happening for three weeks. Chrissy, I know
Yes,
you said you're busy, but at the end of the day, this is you're getting paid for this. It is your job. Being a mom's also your job, and people told you multiple times, and you say, "Well, I would have done it." Differently if I knew, but to me, it seems like you did know, especially when you say, for example, hey, like I can't have you on. I'm busy wrapping. I wanted to wrap this up. I don't want to ambush Melanie. Well, in a way, Melanie like is omitting things and she's bringing all of the chat stuff with her. So I mean, it's questionable to call it an ambush, though I could understand. But like,
I'm saying
normally
the
you just send me
style.
the link
I'm saying the
and
style of having one guest on, which is what I normally do. I have one guest on, and I have one conversation with them, and it just goes back and forth like this. And then to suddenly bring on a new guest that was not advertised, that was not part of the plan, that I consider to be like an ambush or like a gotcha, like
well then
surprise.
well then why on stream would you say, hey, like I'm waiting for a text from Brittany, and then I text you and it's
agreed. She said that. She said that live on the program. If Brittany wants to come on, she just has to text me. And Brittany did text her. And
Mhm.
she lied and said, "Oh, Brittany never texted me." But she forgot, "Oh, there's receipts with that." Suffer.
40 minutes, and then on my end it says that you saw it by 11:40. It showed the scene receipt, and so in my perspective,
Hmm.
you did see it, and there's all these other things showing that you saw it. And so it's like it's either, hey, I just didn't want to because I didn't want to ambush her, or I genuinely didn't see it. And I saw the red receipt, and I showed that when I was talking to Nina because she was asking, where
Yeah.
am I? I'm like,
Don't
well, she
feel
saw it.
defensive, Brittany. I don't think you did anything wrong. I think you covered this so thoroughly. So it sounds like you're like maybe sounds like you're getting defensive. You don't feel defensive at all. Again, nobody should
Well,
be
I feel
like
lied to,
giving you
Chrissy.
crap.
So I am, because I feel lied to. I feel like I'm being told that, hey, well, one thing I didn't want to have you on. Then the other is, oh well, I didn't see it, but I saw the red receipt by like 11:40, and I had messaged Nina about it, and I showed
Okay.
this
Yeah,
on stream as well.
I was trying to wrap the stream up again. Like I try to not go more than 90 minutes on my interviews. I just think like,
Right,
and at
but
that
which
point it had
which
been
is
like
it? Is it
after
that you didn't
midnight,
see
and I was
it?
like, it's late.
And this is a great point by Brittany. So she's trying to say, "I didn't see it. I saw it, but it was too late." What the fuck is it then? You cannot speak out of both sides of your mouth and think that is okay.
And I think that makes sense.
But is it that you didn't see it, or that you didn't want Melanie to feel ambushed? Because it's like it says you saw it, and Frank said it wasn't him that opened the message. He was busy upstairs with your toddler when we were talking on the phone.
Mhm.
So I feel lied to, especially after seeing the Nina stuff. And then I'm getting done off the phone with you, and you're saying, like, well, thank you for explaining to me, but you knew a lot of this stuff already.
Yep.
And
I
I
I
just
wasn't
feel like
connecting the
deceived
I
as somebody who's worked with you so long. And I don't feel like you're taking
I'm sorry.
accountability.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, Brittany. Again, like
What? Evan, you know what, Evan?
Huh?
I'm gonna lie to you about everything
Okay.
and then gaslight you. And you know what, Evan? I'm sorry you feel that way. I am sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you feel bamboozled. I'm sorry that you feel lied to. I'm sorry you feel all of that. But guess what, Evan? Fuck you.
To be fair, we
I
do have off screen conversations like this all the time. You do gaslight me all the time over the phone.
You're welcome.
Not too far away from the truth, but yes. Anyway,
And I do it again
yeah, I'm sure you would.
and again.
Uh huh.
You're welcome.
And again and one more time.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Really?
yeah.
I the how I handled the stream poorly is no reflection on you. And I'm even just
Well,
doing the
as we
stream now.
discussed, you kind of framed it that
Pause.
way.
Yeah,
This
I'm sorry if you
Pause. The stream it doesn't reflect poorly on you. You're just a fucking stupid bitch that I have to have on and talk with, and I don't want to hear this bullshit anymore. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's telling Brittany right now because Brittany's calling her out for every single thing
Oh
that
yeah.
she has said.
Yep.
Because again, she is blatantly lying, not
Mhm.
just to Brittany, not just to Kimberly, but most importantly, she's lying to Cherry. and Cherry is in shock right now.
You got hurt. I'm sorry if like I explained to you on the phone, like this is a real shit storm, and I stepped in a real pile of shit, and it's been a really bad week for me, and I'm it seems like a lot of people have sort of been like caught in the crossfires of this. So
So
it's not been
you're
it's
not
not been a
really
good week for
responding to what I'm
anybody.
saying. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm asking you like, hey, then why was there a red receipt by like 11:40 if you didn't see it? And I'm not getting like as somebody who want like, okay, let's try to resolve this. Like I need honesty. And I'm asking you, why are you saying you didn't see it, but there was the red receipt?
Yeah, I'm sorry you feel hurt by that. I think it was just too late in the stream. I was trying to
She can't say I'm sorry. She cannot say she's fucking sorry. Oh my god.
wrap it up, and
So did you see it,
I
yes
didn't
or no? That's what I
I
want to
didn't
know, to be
I didn't want her
honest.
to feel ambushed.
So you did see it.
Hold on, wait a second.
By the
Wait a
time I
minute.
saw it,
Hold on. I feel like the only way she can respond to like anything that Brittany has been saying is by literally reading off a fucking script. That's how it comes off to me.
Well, it's not.
She's like looking. She's like, listen, I am sorry for the way that you feel. I know that this is really hurtful and that you experience some distress. But understand that this is what happens when you are a mother of a toddler and you have shit that you got to do. So stop being a whiny fucking bitch about it.
Yeah, this is legit. All this is her not wanting to take accountability. 100%. She's trying to make Brittany sound like she's crazy. It's insane. This is so we covered RTU versus Ames.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best videos. I downloaded it off of YouTube because I have YouTube Premium. I love it. It is one of the greatest things ever. Just to hear Ames say, "Pause, answer the fucking question, Rich." And then he's like, "Are you gonna let me speak?" No, you're giving me the runaround. You're pissing me off. Answer the fucking question. It is one of the best.
Shut up!
He didn't. Right there, bam, and that's from that same stream. I absolutely love it. And here is Brittany absolutely pressing Chrissy, asking her, just answer the question. It's a yes or no question. Answer the fucking question, Rich.
Right.
If
I
you
was
need,
wrapping the stream.
So yeah.
okay.
is what she
So
said.
because I need honesty to like have the conversation. So
I know.
okay,
It just
so
feels
she
like
saw
it's
it.
a little.
My problem is it makes me look bad when she's saying I messaged
No,
her too
again,
late when
Brittany,
there's 40 minutes.
You don't. I'm sorry if you feel like my the way I'm sorry if my stream is making you look bad again. Like it's the whole point of even tonight's stream is for
I'm
me to
sorry, my
explain.
live stream is
Well-
making you look bad. What the fuck kind of apology is this?
Chrissy, your old age is making you look bad. Chrissy, the lack of accountability is making you look bad. Chrissy, the fact that you're sweeping for a sex pest like Jer, who did say at a Renaissance fair that she's a mom, so she's down to fuck. The fact that you're sweeping for Melanie Mack, who is a grifter, and her husband likes to dress up in gay cosplay. That's not a lie. That is factual information.
Chrissy, take some acting lessons so that you can sound like you could do an apology better.
Yeah, no, it's not that she can't do an apology better. She just can't do an apology.
She can't do an
all.
apology. She doesn't even sound genuine. That's my point, is that at least sound like you're actually doing an apology as opposed to, well, I'm sorry that you feel this way. It's like, what the fuck kind of Sigmund Freud shit is this?
Yeah, like yeah. Hey Evan, that's a nice shirt. Does it come in your size? That's essentially what she's saying right now. It's the fucking most backhanded compliment ever.
Exactly.
Get fucked.
Backhanded
what's
apology.
going on with me?
Yeah.
And how I dropped the ball, and I don't think it
Cherry, please show her a real apology.
All right.
it is. I'm sorry you were hurt by it. So I don't know how many times I have to apologize for you feeling
Cherry's
for you
eye
Well, you
roll.
lied, so there's that.
Cherry's fucking eye roll is iconic. I'm not gonna lie.
Cherry knows this is bullshit. She's looking at Chrissy like, okay, Chrissy, if you want to die on this hill, I'm not gonna say a fucking thing. I have the launch codes. I've broken the Enigma code, and I solved the Da Vinci code during this whole stream. But if you want to die on this hill, if you want to die on this hill, die on this hill, but leave me out
Exactly.
of it. And then she has the cross on, and she's like, you leave the good Lord out of it too.
Right.
So how can I like? How can we proceed when I'm telling you that you saw it and I
I'm
saw you
saying
saw it,
I'm
and then you
saying
claim you
that
didn't
by the
see
I'm
me
saying, like,
asking for the link?
Brittany, I was oh my I was looking for you to respond for a while, and then I stopped looking because I was like, "I should really focus on my guest." Uh, and then by the time I saw it, it was too late to bring you on. And even though you're like, "Well, it's 40 minutes later," I wasn't planning for it to go 40 minutes longer. I know that, you know, after the fact, it looks like, "Oh, there was plenty of time to have me on." But at that time, I was trying to wrap it up. All right,
Well,
there's so many
I
freaking
don't
super chats.
appreciate being lied to, and it's like
Oh
people are
wow.
here, they want to hear your side of it. But you
I know,
open
and
saying
I'm
I'm being
trying
bullied,
to
and then
I'm
it's
trying to
like
get
there's
that out.
lies.
Well, I mean, it is
It comes
disingenuous
across as
to.
victimization.
I'm not
I want to
I'm
hear
not
from
trying to
Chrissy. I'm
be
talking to
like
her.
I'm not trying to say I'm a
You know what? And Kimberly didn't deserve that strike. Okay,
Yeah,
but
I agree with that. I
but
agree.
respectfully, Kimberly was probably gonna side with Brittany. I'll say that. But Chrissy does need to answer the fucking question.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it. And she refuses to answer.
yep.
victim. I'm just trying to
Then who's
explain.
bullying you?
Where
Like, you should clarify.
I'm just trying to explain what was going on uh at
I
this
know,
time.
but who bullied you? You said you were bullied into this,
I
and
feel like
then like
you are bullying me right now by asking me the same question 10 times in a row.
Oh really? Oh really? Really? So wait a minute. Okay. So let's do the math. Let's do the math on this right now. Okay, there's a lot going on here.
Not the math, not the math. Let's do the timeline.
We'll
Okay.
do the well before we do the timeline. Let's do just a tiny bit of math. So you have Brittany who's asking pretty legitimate questions.
Mm-hmm.
You have Chrissy who is trying her best just to sweep under the rug and sweep as hard as she possibly can just to bury Brittany in the dust. But Brittany is smarter than to allow her that. So does it really cancel each other out? Because frankly, it doesn't. The answer is no. The answer is negative infinity. Um, I just think it's incredible that she's accusing Brittany of bullying when it really is accountability.
Yeah, and these are straightforward questions, and
Absolutely.
she's not being disrespectful to her too. She's not saying, "Hey, Chrissy, answer the question, you old hag."
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
she's not saying anything like that. She's not saying anything that outlandish to her.
Yeah,
She's just
right.
asking her a very straightforward question, which is, what would you have done better?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you see my text? Yes or no? And why would you not bring me on? Um, and did you know about the stuff prior? Which we do know that she knew about the stuff prior, but she wants to play stupid. This is egregious. This is her 100% trying to play the victim. This is her trying to feign ignorance. She's being a donkey brain jackass.
To quote Arnold Schwarzenegger from Kindergarten Cop, "Who is your daddy and what does he do?"
No, it's not a tumor.
Start Duma. Yeah.
I feel like the Kino Casino was bullied by being deplatformed by Jeremy, and
Yes,
then
Mm-hmm.
Mel
and that's
getting
wrong.
to
And
lie
you
on your
should get their
stream,
That's
channel
true.
back.
and then you
The
lying
Kino
about it.
Casino, the Kino Casino should get their platform and their show and their channel back.
But
I agree.
that doesn't sound genuine.
And notice how she didn't disavow like Jared doing that. She just said they should get their channel
They should
back.
just get it back.
Yeah,
Right.
you should also disavow what Jer does because
Mhm.
it is 110% Jer. I don't want to hear this bullshit of Jeremy saying like, "Oh, maybe it's my fans." Jer, you have 10 fucking fans. You don't have hundreds of thousands of fans. You are clearly botting because you went from having 70,000 something people on Rumple to the other day just streaming to I think like a couple thousand.
Mhm.
You don't fall off like that over a week.
Yeah.
Hassan shocked his dog and still was pulling the same numbers, Jer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're such an idiot.
Ridiculous.
And again, she just cannot go ahead and just say, I do not. Jer should have never struck that channel. Jer should stop striking channels. Jer should take accountability. If Chrissy said those three things, she would gain a little bit of respect. But then she needs to go after Mel and say the same exact thing. but she won't.
Chrissy, when you're platforming Mel, who's denying that courting even did this.
But
How does that sound genuine? And then you're lying.
I did not associate Jeremy's fuck ups with Melanie.
But
I feel like
Nina
I
literally
went over
told
that.
you.
But you should.
Again, I feel like we've
And
gone
you
over
just
this
But you should.
so many
and
times.
why would okay, but why am I to believe
Wh-
you if you already were lying about seeing the message in the first place? So you have to kind of prove what you're saying. I can't assume that you're telling the truth at this point. And I don't think I'm bullying you. I think that
She's
you're being
not.
fairly pressed based on a
No.
free speech
No.
platform
She's not.
of hosting someone on here that was anti-free speech.
Yep.
Correct.
And this
Okay.
isn't right that I get thrown under the bus for it and
Okay.
told that
You
I
should not
messaged
be.
too late
You
and
should not
lied
be
on.
thrown
You
under the
admitted
bus.
to lying.
You should not be thrown under the bus.
I've helped
Franklin.
you for how many years, Chrissy?
You're a very good
Pause.
friend and an
Well, legitimate argument that actually totally felt your point. Well, yeah, I understand. That's correct. It's just like she's like cucking herself in a way.
No.
Totally, completely cucking herself. She's like, yeah, well, I agree with that.
Well, so this is what I think. Chrissy, she definitely has DMs with Mel and with Jer.
Mm-hmm.
She probably in a panic probably texted him like, "Oh shit, Brittany's coming on the Simpcast tonight. What do I do?" And Jer probably said, "Don't talk about this. Don't mention this. For the love of God, don't drink orange juice on the stream." You know, like that's probably like there's something to that. You know, probably telling her like, "Don't talk about this. Don't mention this. Don't do this. Don't say that."
Yeah.
And you know, Chrissy is following that to the T. So she's probably getting pressed on questions that she either doesn't know how to answer because Jer and Mel didn't spoon feed it to her,
Mhm.
or she just doesn't, or she's been told not to answer those questions. That's what this ultimately is. So she's right now trying to just go ahead and NASCAR this and just talk in circles continuously until Brittany just finally goes ahead and just gives up. This is a tactic that they do all the time. Dark Side Phil has done this multiple times. He did this on the Truth Seekers um podcast where the guy Steve on Truth Seekers said, "You know, Phil, I went ahead and I did the research. It would cost $15,000 to go ahead and get the same automation system to go ahead and read out all of these bank statements that you had on your account. So do you think the trolls really spent $15,000 on this?" And then Phil said, "Can you prove? Can you prove that they did it? Can you prove that they did it?" And it led to nothing. And Phil just kept asking that same question. And then he acts like, "Yeah, fucking own that guy. He couldn't prove it 100%. He only had 99.9999999%."
Right, and Chrissy is asking and saying the same things over and over and over again to go back to square one on purpose, so that way she can avoid accountability.
Exactly.
even better streamer. I don't think that no one should be giving you crap for anything.
But you're telling me I'm bullying you, so apparently they should, no?
In this, I'm saying
Because
in
I'm
this
asking
moment,
questions about you lying, and now I'm the
I
bully.
think she's just saying
and that's
she's
not
feeling
victimization?
overwhelmed.
I'm just saying you're the.
Like, that's
I'm just saying I'm overwhelmed right now, and I didn't expect you to like.
Because I'm upset that you lied, and then you're calling me a bully after. How am I supposed to accept any sort of apology? How's anybody at this point? Fuck it. Call me a bully if you want, but you can't call me a liar.
No one's calling you a liar. You've done a good job covering everything that's been going on.
And you haven't.
And if
you
people
haven't.
think I suck,
Yep,
You are
exactly.
the host of
She
this
hasn't.
show, and you haven't said jack diddly squat about what's going on, which is your literal job, number one.
No, Evan, being a mother's her job.
Yeah, I need to take care of my 2-year-old. I don't have time to actually like run a show and like do shit.
And you know what? And I find that, I find that to be so disgusting. There are so
It
many
is.
single mothers out there that have multiple kids that work a full-time job.
I
That
agree.
go ahead and they're able to do it. And you work from home, and you can't find some time.
Who have
to-
it harder,
Yeah.
more complicated, and more difficult than you, and that's right, and that's exactly correct.
Yeah, and you're gonna sit there on your high horse. I mean, look at the background there. okay, she has a very nice chair, she has a nice mic, and she just got tipped two $50 super chats and then a $20 super chat. That's $120 of people just shitting on Brittany Venti because you're too lazy to go get a real job. This is not a real job. I'm sorry. I don't care what Hassan or any of these streamers say. You know how hard it is to sit behind a microphone and
I
go on here
work
and
from
talk
9
for
to
hours?
5. I work
Yeah.
8. I stream 8 hours a day, and
Yeah,
it's
and
just
you know what?
like
Yeah,
doing
and
what? Going to the
most of the
bathroom all the time? Like,
yeah, and most of the time these fucking dickheads are eating on stream for most of it, or stealing YouTubers' content and just fucking playing it like an absolute total
or,
douchebag.
or like Denims just stare at a screen blankly while the content's just
Yeah,
flowing out.
yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah, because she's a
know?
ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Covering this, they should be sending you all of their money. Oh my God, there's so many, you guys.
Okay, yeah.
So
How's your weekend? This week, apology was brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee. Sneed Dave Williams, as a Catholic, will you continue to platform porn stars? Why did you lie about not knowing
no.
the drama? Why did you say Jesus supports flag? I never said
Oh
Jesus supports.
And that's
my
not true.
God.
Okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing.
That is a crazy, amazing art comment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, okay. You know what? She does platform these mattress actresses. This is true. And she did lie about the drama because Nina told her. And then she did say that Jesus supports flagging. These are all. No, that last statement is a true statement. Don't lie, Chrissy.
Supports flag.
The internet never forgets.
True.
Why did you lie about not knowing the drama? Like I said before, I knew there was drama. I just didn't think it was something Melanie had to answer for.
Oh,
As a
yeah.
Catholic, will we
Very
continue
great.
platforming porn stars? That's an interesting question. I think I might change who I have on. But again, Jesus himself
Okay,
associated with sinners, and
pause.
if
You have literally done questionable acts like in the past
Yeah.
and currently. And not only that, I mean, the fact that you are platforming these types of people, I mean, and now you're like, "Oh, well, maybe I should like think about who I have on." But don't you think that like pick a lane. Are you going to do this or are you not going to do it? So
Mhm.
now you're being called out and you're like, "Well, maybe I should reconsider." It's like, what like just what?
Mhm.
What?
I were to just platform people who have never sinned, I would have very few guests. Let's see.
But he also gave pushback.
I was
That's the
gonna
other
say,
thing.
He did. He was
It's
very
not-
good at that. Sneed Dave Williams, congrats on getting your own thread. I'll be attending your careers ending tomorrow night on Kick with PPP presiding. Thank you.
Suffer.
Suffer, bitch.
The dude having Mel on your stream isn't the issue, and stop gaslighting that it ever was. Ignoring, disrespecting, and lying to your chat is the source of all the anger.
Good.
Thank you, dude. I understand where this is coming from.
Fuck 'em.
Mhm.
At the time, I was just overwhelmed by all the insults, and it was pretty vile. So it was hard for me
Were
to put
you
that
They were
aside.
overwhelmed? Gee, I couldn't tell. I could not tell that you were overwhelmed because
Yeah,
of how flat your frickin' voice is, and how not give a shit that you are throughout this whole fucking video.
Yeah, exactly. Like she doesn't give a shit.
No.
It's all hope.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read these.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read these. Okay.
Tragically sane, these trolls are insufferable. This obsession these people have with some petty drama between two people is legitimately deranged.
Deplatforming
And
petty.
you're showing how
yeah,
deep
deplatforming's
they
not petty
are.
drama, and people in the chat who are saying this to you are not helping you right now. They're hurting you.
Yeah.
This is a free speech platform.
Notice how quick she brought that down. She thought, "Oh, I'm gonna cook with this one." And once Kimberly and Brittany were like, "Yeah, this isn't it. This isn't it, bud," she was like, "Okay, let me take this off."
Apparently. So it shouldn't be petty.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely.
No, this is like
People are going to
serious-
attribute that
serious
to Chrissy
issues.
too, and I just don't think that that's accurate.
I might have to do a whole nother stream addressing the super chats. This is way more than I
What?
expected or thought.
Fair questions.
Bullied.
I've been more than fair. She said she felt like I'm bullying her, and she's calling
She
people
did say she
SJWs
felt
for
bullied.
giving pushback.
Well,
I do think that is disingenuous. The SJW thing, and I mentioned this. I commented on that thread. The insinuation there being like D-Day Cobra, Kino Casino, all them, or just SJWs. Like, no, like this is like Jeremy's like bragging about fucking with people's livelihood for like bringing up drama when like so much of his channel is drama. And unfortunately, Chrissy, like you're being sucked into that tornado right now, and a lot of the stuff
She's
just
not
didn't
being
look
sucked
good.
into that
And
tornado.
and
Pause.
Yeah,
She's
no,
not being
she's doing it to
sucked.
herself.
She's in it. She's a part of it. She's causing it.
Yeah, she willingly chose to ignore evidence. She willingly chose to throw herself into the ring. That's on her. You either sink or you swim, pimp.
This is the most important super chat of the night. What's up, Anna? There are over 5K people watching. Can everyone please wish Cherry her first happy Mother's Day? Oh,
Yeah.
Holy shit, she talks.
Oh my god.
Mother's Day.
congratulations.
All the Mother's Day.
Yeah, guys,
Brittany
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
give a
I don't know a lot
fuck.
about this, so I just don't really want to comment on it because I just don't really know. All I know is I stopped watching the quartering years ago.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is she started talking. Now Figure was meowing.
Yeah.
I was shocked too, buddy.
Yeah.
Can you stop doing that to my chair, though? I don't like when you scratch my chair.
Well, she only
I had my own
talked.
beef with the quarter.
I mean, she only talked because people actually acknowledged her existence, and she's
Yeah,
like,
up at-
"Okay,
up at-
now I should probably engage with this because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what the hell people are talking about. I'm just gonna be right fucking here decoding the fucking Pentagon Papers or whatever."
I was waiting for her to pull a DSP and be going, "Oh, the camera's on. Oh, camera's on the whole time, huh? I didn't even know."
Hello.
Waddle, waddle, waddle.
Yeah.
He's like a very sketchy person.
Yeah. You know, I think when you first get into right wing politics, Jeremy's there along the way.
Okay.
And then usually by the end of it, he's not there anymore. So that's all I really know about
Yeah,
this.
nobody watches him. That's why this thing has been a big deal, because literally people are just finding stuff now that they're digging, because literally, like, who was a quartering fan? But yeah, I want to say, like, overall, I just don't think that this should be equated to like, hey, I need to attend my kid, therefore I can't keep track of stuff
Yep.
that's relevant to
Right.
platforming in my job and stuff. It's not, it
I
doesn't mean therefore Chrissy has to neglect her kid. And I don't think it's being unfair to say these things or ask questions or have criticisms about what went down, because I thought, like, what is the point in the stream otherwise? What is the point?
I don't know.
If
I
it-
just
if
think
she's just
something's
We've
being
been watching
lost
this
in
whole fucking
translation,
thing, and it's
I think
just been
she's
sweep,
obviously
sweep,
overwhelmed.
sweep, sweep,
Well, I'm
sweep.
asking Chrissy.
Sweeping under the fucking rug, sweeping under the pyramids, sweeping under the fucking museum closet. I don't know. There's a bunch of fucking sweeping.
Yep, and here we go. Listen to what Brittany says here.
I
If
just think
she's
something's
being
being
bullied
lost in
into it, then what is
translation
the
because I
point?
think she's
Yeah.
obviously overwhelmed.
Well, I'm asking
I-
Chrissy, what's the point of
Yeah.
this stream?
The point of the stream was for me to go through the concerns that I feel like were voiced over the past few days, and to clarify where I'm at in my personal life, to give that context for people,
Pause.
to let people know.
Did a pretty shit job at that, I would say. Just going around in fucking circles saying the same thing over and over and over after being asked pretty legitimate questions from Brittany. I mean, if anything, the point of this stream is to get completely exposed and felted.
Agreed.
I'm not paid by Jeremy. It was a one-time event where he
Right.
sent coffee to. I wanted to acknowledge I'm not
Right.
the streamer or person that I was 2 years ago. I am not terminally online, unfortunately. I'm sleep deprived. My content is so different. I'm doing mostly stuff that doesn't require a ton of research.
To my knowledge, she doesn't have a real job. This is her job.
Right.
How are you fucking sleep deprived? If you're a stay-at-home mom, okay, and like your whole thing is you can work whenever you want, you should not be sleep deprived. I take issue with this.
Search up front. Like I figured talking to Melanie about my
But that
conversion.
doesn't
and
really
her
sound like an
wedding.
apology.
Hold
It
on.
sounds like an
Becky,
explanation.
you asked me a question, then you interrupt me. That's not fair.
She didn't interrupt
I
her.
do more streams. That
It's
don't
an
require a-
explanation, though.
But
It's the
it's
same
still
thing you already
interrupt-
Well,
said.
there's also, if you've noticed throughout, like Brittany is.
Oh,
does have
the
some lag.
buffering, yeah.
Are you here to interrupt me, or do you want to listen?
I have lag. No, there's lag. That's why. The last one lagged.
There is lag. Anyway, happy Mother's
No
Day,
shit,
Carrie.
you
What do you do?
jackass.
September 26th.
Oh,
Long time to go still.
Yeah.
Oh, again, that's not an apology. That's an explanation. That's, hey, I have stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's not really like an apology for having deplatforming on. And then it's getting called bullied and
Having deplatforming
SJWs.
on?
Like, how can you
Having
be on this
deplatforming on?
platform that you make money off of and be free speech and say that?
Lindsay, I had my friend Melanie on to talk about my conversion and her getting married. Did not have her on.
Wait,
I did
pause.
not have her
Can
on
you
to
go
talk
back?
about deplatforming.
Can you go back a little bit? Did she call her Brittany or Lindsay? I thought I heard her say a different name.
But it's not really like an apology for having deplatforming on. And then it's getting called bullied
Having
and
deplatforming
SJWs.
on?
Like, how can you
Having
be on this
deplatforming on?
platform that you make money off of and be free speech and say that?
Lindsay, I had my friend
Yeah, she called her
Melanie
Lindsay.
on to talk about
Yeah,
my
that's
conversion
what I thought.
and her
Huh.
getting
I
married.
don't know if
I
that
did
is.
not have her on.
Who
I
the
did
hell
not
is
have her on to
Lindsay?
talk about
I don't know,
deplatforming.
dude. She's an idiot.
Ah,
But you know, people have the free will to super chat. They're gonna super chat in and ask about it.
I didn't know people would be asking about that because I did not associate Jeremy's.
But you could read, right? Like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, yeah, you're gonna read and see the chat. That's what Brittany's saying.
you
Fuck
can
ups
do
with
research.
Melanie.
You can do
So that's why I was
research
completely.
while the chat is going on in another tab, and go to Google and like do maybe not multitasking. Multitasking doesn't technically exist, but like do something to the side while engaging with the chat. Like you know that's a thing, right? You can do that. So what's the problem? What is the problem?
So I mean, we're a small channel.
Yeah.
You know, we're not a big channel, but we have made some partnerships with some people over, over the time that we've been, doing this.
Yeah.
And we talked to the likes of Cassandra, Cyrax's ex. We've talked to Tyler Liger on the Crash Out Connoisseurs. We've talked to, I'm trying to think who else, Lord
Well,
Diaz,
Lord Diaz, yeah.
Goody, yeah. And when I talk to them, I've asked them questions about certain things, and they're willing to answer my questions, depending on what it is. Like I asked Lord Diaz because he posts content to Instagram. I asked him, hey, is there a way to schedule? He's like, nope. I was like, all right, well, thank you, appreciate it, God bless, have a good day.
Okay.
And I've reached out to others, about a wide plethora of different questions, whether it's about different setups, different type of programs to use, whatever the case may be. I ask questions to the different people. For and they always give me a wide variety of different answers because there's different strokes for different folks. She is just going ahead and trusting Mel over everyone else essentially and just saying like, well, she told me this, so I believed her. Or is it that you know more and there's a secret deal behind the scenes where you're saying, we'll mention it, appreciate it, fam. That's really what it boils down to.
Overwhelmed when that all came
But
in.
that's still not it's not an excuse still. It's just an explanation. It's like, yeah, all these things are happening.
I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just the whole reason for the stream is to give context and explain where I was at.
No, it's not.
People,
so
people
it's
can
not
believe what
it's
they want.
only for
People
context
can,
explain.
People can
Not an apology.
And think, Brittany, if you're gonna keep interrupting me, I don't see how that's productive.
She's not interrupting her. She's literally not interrupting her. It's just lag. She already explained that. It's like, oh yeah, lag. Okay, but so then why are you saying, well, you're interrupting me? It's like, no, she's not.
Yeah, you already know what the issue is. There's lag.
Yeah.
This is again her just wanting to be the victim, her wanting to go ahead and just say like, "Oh, pity me. It's woe is me. I'm a victim in this circumstance. Don't attack me. I'm just I'm just a single mom, or not a single mom. I'm just a mother, a new mother trying to make things work and trying to provide the best life I can for my child." Get fucked.
So is it apology or not? That's what I want to know.
Who would you like me to apologize to? You personally?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
That considering you lied.
The gaslighting.
That is the most honest I have seen Chrissy all fucking stream. That is her exact feelings right there. What do you want me to apologize for? The way that she said it was absolutely authentic.
Agreed.
100%.
To me, threw me under the bus, said I messaged you too late. So there's that part we talked about.
I didn't throw you under the bus, Brittany. I didn't.
You said I messaged you too late. 40 minutes is not too late, and you lied about not seeing it.
Brittany, at the time, it was too late for me. I was trying to wrap the show up.
But you lied and said you didn't see it.
I feel like you're obsessing about this particular point, and that's not.
It's so if you're lying, it's obsessing. If I point out that you're lying, I'm the bully, and that's obsessing.
Okay, let's try to move on. Lindsay, do you see?
No,
anything
I
on
don't want.
Facebook?
I don't want.
This is
Don't let her
great.
move on. Do not let her move on. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a guest. Brittany, stay focused, girl. Hyper, focus up. Let's fucking go. Hammer her in the fucking face. Boom, boom, boom.
Bam.
Bam, bang, bang, pow.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, this is shout out to Brittany for doing this. I love the fact that she is holding her feet to the fire.
Oh, yeah.
To move on, Chrissy. You're collecting super
And
chats
you
for
can have your own
hosting the
stream where you
platforming.
discuss this at length.
Look at that. She started getting animated. She
Oh,
is
yeah.
pissed.
Oh.
Keep the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like I have addressed it.
No.
You really
You're-
haven't. You're saying it's explanation, not an apology at all. For your own co-host was affected by this. How can you call yourself free speech? And this is just an explanation, not an apology for anything.
Lindsay, this is not about
100%. This is. She's trying to figure out, how do I go ahead and put a positive spin on this? Brittany Venti got her.
the stream I did with Melanie was to talk about my conversion and her getting married.
Okay.
Stop saying that excuse. You said that
Yeah.
excuse 5 times in this one video. It is tired and it's bullshit and it has nothing to do with this frickin'. I am gonna lose my shit, Mitchell. This is
Yeah, this is-
absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, because it's a complete and utter lie. She's lying. We all know she's lying.
Yes.
And this is the problem. And Darkside Phil does this, and Truther does this as well, where they treat the fans as if they're so stupid. And Cyrax does this, but Cyrax is such an idiot, it'll never work.
Yeah.
But they treat their fans as if they're dumber than bricks. When you view your fans as stupid idiots that will do anything and everything that you say, or believe any and every lie that you say, then you've failed. Ultimately, you have failed.
Yeah.
And that's what Chrissy's trying to do. That's what Jer Bear's trying to do. That's what Melanie Mack is trying to do. They're trying to go ahead and just say, "Oh, the fans are stupid. They'll buy this bullshit. Just say it's this. Just say it's SJWs." And that's why I think grifting is so stupid, and I think it's so terrible and so dangerous. And I don't think anyone should ever partake in it. I think just be original and just make good freaking content.
I agree.
Stopped reading the chats and had you on so that you could say to her what you wanted to say. Instead, I wanted to wrap up my show and get through the super chats and try to figure out what the hell just happened.
What do you mean? What the hell
Okay,
just
well,
happened?
I'm glad
wait,
that
wait,
you're-
wait. What do you mean? What the hell just happened? You're the one that's doing this show. You're the one that has this guest on. You're the one that's responsible for what is being discussed. Are you a showrunner, or are you just a talking sock puppet? I mean,
She is.
like that. Like it's like the mental fucking gymnastics that she's going through is absolutely wild to me.
Yeah,
And
no, this is.
who is to say that? Who could believe this shit? Who?
Yeah, and it's clearly what she is doing right now is 110%. She is just trying to gaslight Brittany Venti, trying to avoid any type of accountability, while also going ahead and fighting for the honor of her Lord and Savior, Jeremy Poop Pants Hambley.
And to that I say,
admitting the inconsistency here. I appreciate it. Now the other thing is the bullying thing. Like, so this people don't view this as an apology at this point, because it's like, I'm sorry you feel this way, and you use this language a lot.
I definitely said I dropped the ball.
That's not the same.
I'm not apologizing. I'm not apologizing for having my friend on to talk
I don't
about
think
my
people want you to
conversion.
there it
apologize
is.
for that.
There it is, right there.
Yep.
I'm not apologizing. That is a real. Exactly. That's not a real statement. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was a real statement. Every other thing, horse shit. Didn't fucking mean it. That she meant.
Yeah, she is clearly trying to deflect any type of blame, because she does not want to go ahead and deal with any accountability
Right.
whatsoever. And that's the thing with these grifters, is they use anything and everything to go ahead and make easy money on the internet. That's all that it is. It's just they lie. Whether it's they're using religion to grift or politics to grift, they try to get to the lowest common denominator, and sometimes they do both.
Yeah.
They do religion and politics, and there's other grifts out there too. It just depends on like what field they want to go into.
Right.
But there's grifters everywhere.
Yep.
Chrissie Mayr is obviously a grifter. She doesn't stand for anything. And when you stand, and she tries to claim that she stands for everything, but if you stand for everything, you really stand for nothing. She's a complete idiot. She's a jackass. She has no idea what the fuck she's talking about, and she's clearly felt it. And the other thing I would say is she would get a lot more credit if she did one of two things. There's two ways that she can go ahead and she can come out of this situation. One, shut the fuck up. And that's the easiest option. Or two, fess up to it, bring the Kino Casino on, take the beating like an adult, and just understand that you fucked up. You hitched your horse to the wrong wagon because you wanted to go ahead and try to keep the grift alive. Wings of redemption, consequences have actions, pimp.
Yep.
And
think
it's not
her
about having your
getting
friend
rid.
on.
It's
It's about the
definitely not.
platforming and her sweeping for it on your stream,
Again,
which you
I
benefit from
didn't-
being free
I
speech.
would not associate her with the quartering's sins and horrible things that he's been doing.
But she's involved with it. She is directly
You and I
involved
totally
with it.
Yeah,
That's
and she
bullshit,
is.
and you know it, Chrissy.
She commented on his birthday post.
Mhm.
She has commented on deplatforming. These things are just all extremely terrible and should not be practices
Yeah.
that anyone should partake in. I think deplatform is terrible. Obviously, if you're
Right.
someone that is spreading hate speech, you're saying death to some sort of ethnic, religious group,
Mhm.
things of that realm. Obviously, you shouldn't have a platform to spread hate speech like that. I agree with that. But when you go ahead and you say Jer is a poopy pants, he shit his pants in Walmart, and you're getting deplatformed for it. And when Jer is someone who claims to go ahead and be a man of God, but he's hanging out with a Jewish bull, allegedly, who
Right.
has domestic violence charges against him, allegedly,
Allegedly.
then it just doesn't, it's not a good look.
No.
You can't go ahead and claim to be all these things, and then when someone finds out he's not really about that, then get mad that the proof is out there.
Yeah.
You can't. And the question that raises for me is, how long has Jared been doing this? How many smaller channels did he find searching up himself? Because that's what Phil does too. Phil does the same thing where he searches himself to find these different troll channels, and then he goes on there and Duty Streams will do a YouTube video where he'll say like Dark Side Phil shits his pants, blah blah blah, making fun of him. And then Phil goes, yeah, so these fucking trolls, okay? Like they're out here trying to say that I shit my pants apparently because I was a little gassy. Can you believe it? What a bunch of fucking no-loads.
And
Bunch of
I don't
fucking
appreciate it, to be
losers.
honest.
Yeah, I don't appreciate these fucking no-load losers saying this. Like, what a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it boils down to.
Point is not
and
landing.
but you also replied to her on April 9th asking her about it. Nina brought it up to you multiple times, so this comes across as feigning ignorance.
Right.
Like, just it would be smarter to just say, hey, like, so long as you feel this way, hey, like, I messed up.
I
That's
feel like
accountability. I'm
I got-
sorry I messed up. But
I
instead
agree.
of just like
conflicting
explanation and
messages.
sweeping under the
I
rug.
got conflicting messages about the severity and the truth behind the situation. Plus, I was also confused by seeing tweets that involved like he's a cuck, and so my overall feeling was like, okay, there's drama, but this doesn't have anything to do with Melanie. So I put it aside to focus on what I wanted to talk about.
But she's the co-host. So if these comments are being directed at Jer, obviously she hears the stuff. Obviously, she has some knowledge of the situation. Like, what are we talking about?
Melanie with.
Do you see that that's conflicting though? That she's
Okay,
sweeping for
sure.
Jeremy and paid by him. Do you see?
Of
Because
course,
the whole
of
point of the
course,
stream
of
isn't to
course.
acknowledge that.
I mean,
course.
when you asked her what she would have asked, the first thing she said was like, "Do you think the question she would have asked is like, do you think that working for him means that you have a conflict of interest when it comes to calling out his bullshit?" So like,
Yeah,
it's not as
she
if
does.
and,
The
you
answer
know,
is
like we
the
can all
answer is
play
yes.
kind
The
Mhm.
answer is she absolutely does because she is directly involved with Jeremy. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Insight with that, like would you, wouldn't you, whatever, but like that was her answer when you asked that question.
And again, there's going to be people who anything I say is never going to be good enough.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But that's such a deflection. But yeah, that
It
is
is.
true. But what you could do is you can answer honestly. You can go ahead and give
Mhm,
your perspective on things.
mhm.
Don't go ahead and do this bullshit where you're sitting there trying to sweep for Jer.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't have control over
Well,
how people feel and what people think about
what
me.
what I hear from Brittany too is that like the part of the issue is that there are actual real world implications. It's not just like, what the cat chat keeps saying, like, oh, it's just petty streamer drama, it's just petty streamer drama. Like, no, like your intent, this is a person who's intentionally trying to fuck with someone's life, and then this is another person who is coming in and saying, oh, there's nothing to see here, deceiving everybody around them. And then by association, in that kind of situation, not literally because you associate, but like that bleeds onto you when the chat is coming in and saying like you need to have Brittany on because Melanie's lying. Like
Right.
when they weren't lighting up Melanie for nothing. And like I
Right.
get the friend instinct to step in and say and try to like be there for your friend, but like um Brittany is a nice person and seems like you guys
Yeah.
have been friends for a long time too. So
Oh, yeah.
again, I see why she feels the way she feels.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're gonna wrap it up here because I mean this pretty much just goes on to the end.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just kind of meandering at
that's
this
it.
point.
Yeah, Chrissy Mayr doesn't take any type of accountability, and Brittany Venti absolutely felt her. While Kimberly, she's providing great insight as someone that isn't, that didn't come in here, I guess, as the antagonist, if you will, because that's what Brittany was. In the mind of Chrissy Mayr, she's the protagonist. That's the antagonist. She is just the side character going ahead and essentially siding with Brittany the whole time, while also giving clarity about what Chrissy Mayr was doing. And Cherry's there. That's it. That's really it.
Yeah, that's all she's just there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is."
I'm here. I'm
I'm
here, guys.
here.
I'm
I'm
here.
Cherry.
They,
I got pink hair, and I'm trying to
they got
to
they got
discover if
some
the
chip.
UAPs are
Yeah.
actually real.
The Enigma code
The
solved
Enigma
it.
code, aliens. Woo!
Motherfucker.
But yeah, but no, I will say this. I will give, like, even though she kind of played both sides for the most part, I will give Kimberly a lot of credit because she did actually have some very legitimate points. And I will bring up this one little thing. We won't, hopefully, a certain company isn't going to take us down for playing it, but it won't be long. But this is basically who Kimberly reminds me of. So I'm just going to quickly do this and this.
You were born what defeat would bring. I will tolerate your weakness no longer.
I put a tracker on the ship.
Basically, that was Kimberly. Is Kimberly? She's coming out like, "What are you doing, Chrissy? Why are you doing this?" And being a total bitch about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, to me, Chrissy has damaged her reputation. It's going to take a while for her to get any type of accountability. But
Oh yeah,
also, her fans are also not. They're going to stick with her because of her grift. They
hmm
believe in the grift. They support her grift. But I don't understand it. I really don't get it.
I don't
But
either. I don't
um,
get it.
yeah. Any final comments, Evan?
Yeah, I mean, so I've wanted to say this a little earlier in the show, so I'll say it for my final thoughts, which is to say that I think that it's very evident that nobody really belongs to a monolith. And what I mean by that is, men are not always the same way. Women are not always the same way. Other groups of people are not always the same way. Other races, other religions, whatever, right? That being said, at least in the United States, there is a very clear pattern of women who try to defend certain types of men for very problematic actions. And I think that this sort of really is a good example of showing that kind of culture on full display. And I don't want to get into what that means or where it might come from, but it is to say that I think we do need to have more of a critical lens on this stuff. We can't just defend people because they're our friends. We can't just defend people because we like them and we have a connection with them. I think it's important to distance ourselves when it makes sense, and to actually go do from the outside looking in on these situations, despite what personal feelings you might have for somebody. But the fact remains that Melanie Mack and Chrissie Mayr are choosing to defend him. They are choosing to defend someone. They know exactly what he's about. He has been covered at length, and to feign ignorance, as said earlier, it really truly shows that this is going to unfortunately to continue to be a problem, not just in the internet, but culturally. Not even just the United States, but just across the world, and that's I do think that we need to fix it. I think that's something culturally that we need to fix in not just the United States, but in the world.
Yeah. What I would say is, again, Chrissy Mayr's a grifter.
Hmm.
She's never going to change.
Totally.
She,
100%. Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to quote P Diddy for her. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
she
It's all
cares
money.
about.
It's
She ca-
all
it's
about the
all it's
money.
all it's what it's all about.
Hmm. That's right.
And I'm going to quote another person, Eddie Guerrero. She wants to lie, cheat, and steal. That's right. She wants to lie, cheat, and steal. That's it.
Yep.
So
That's
at
it.
the end of the day, if these grifters are not held accountable, this thing becomes a bigger and bigger issue, and it's up to
Totally.
you,
Yeah.
you as the viewer, to not buy into the bullshit. And I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go really far back. Back to middle school. There was a guy named Minnesota Burns. He was a
Mhm.
troll on Xbox, and what happened is he
Yes,
would
oh my
actually,
God. That totally like brain blasted. I was like,
yeah.
oh wow, I have not heard that name in enough long ass time. Holy
But
shit. I remember Minnesota Burns.
Yeah, and his whole thing was he was trolling people on Xbox.
Yeah.
Turned out he was paying people to react crazy.
Oh
So
wow.
he was lying the whole time, and someone actually got an access of his account, and it turned out that
Wow.
he was this like guy that would just rage all the time. And once he got exposed, that was it. And
Wow.
and I learned in that moment, it is your duty to really go ahead and support someone who genuinely deserves it.
Mhm.
The Kino Casino, they are harsh.
Sure.
But I find them to be funny. I think the content and the way that they make fun of the people that they make fun of, I find it to be very comedic, and I find them to be truthful. There's times where I think they go a little bit overboard, and I can say, okay, that's a little bit too much. But some people would say maybe they don't go far enough. You're not always going to 100
Yeah.
percent agree with everyone. Okay, even your pets, you're not going to 100% agree with them. Negro's right behind me right now, and he thinks he deserves another can of wet food. You're not always going to agree. So you just have
Sure.
to learn to just do the research and just make sure you're supporting someone who is not lying to you. Someone
Right.
like Darkside feels, don't support him because he's a lying asshole. Like if,
Mhm.
if you want to support a lying asshole, go be my guest. I don't care. It's your money. I can't tell you how to spend it.
Right.
But with Darkside Phil, I advise not to support him because of the lies, because of the fact that he wasted WWE champions, and because I think emotionally is abusive to his wife because of how he talks about her. So yeah, but and Jer is a sex pest. He is someone that grifts as well. So I wouldn't support him either. And Chrissy Mayr, same thing. I think that she is using religion as a grift, and I think that's one of
Yep.
the worst things that you could possibly do.
Yep.
I would tell her, just go get a fucking job. Subway's always hiring. So
That's true. And
yeah,
also, when it comes to the money, like any money, the amount of money that people donate on super chats can sometimes get insane.
yeah,
And like, I don't want to say like don't donate to anybody, but if you're donating to problematic people, save your money. Put it in a savings account. Start
yeah.
a Roth IRA. I mean, spend that money on freaking groceries, people. It's
And
really expensive out there. Please use your money wisely, spend it wisely, and don't let these fuckers be encouraged by it.
and what I would say to people too is, if instead of sending the money to a grifter that is going to go ahead and lie the way that they do,
Yep.
go on Google, find the nearest uh, shelter, and bring dog food, bring cat food. Do that instead. Buy toys for the animals. Do that instead of going ahead and
serve
supporting
food to homeless people. I
yeah,
mean,
do that instead of supporting these grifters. That's what I
absolutely,
would say.
without a question. Yes,
Mhm.
do something more productive than donating to these fucking felted morons.
Yeah, absolutely. But anywho, that pretty much wraps it up for us.
Yep.
You know, again, I want to say shout out to all the crack whores and all the dinosaurs.
my
Thank you for going ahead and watching this. Be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications, leave a comment down below. And until next time, everyone, we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Yep.